No. I'm having problems with YouTube, if that makes any sense. This would be the third time. I'm hoping this is live. Because I started exactly at 8 and I did my whole like song and dance for like an hour and a half. And I just started over, which I thought I did. I'm hoping this is live. Is it? Oh, it is. Finally. Oh my god. All right, well, fair enough. Well, take 3, right? Oh, hold on. It's oh no. Yeah, I wanted it down a little bit. Okay. Oh, there's a huge delay on that too. It's fine. So if you say something, I'm not going to get spawn right back away. No, it's my fault. I streamed plenty of times on YouTube. I just don't know why today was bad. All right, so this is all right. This is my year in review, 2024, take 3. All right, you know what? I'm so glad I'm drinking right now. Because after the whole like spiel I did for an hour and a half, it said I was live, right? Like OBS said, yeah, you're live. I'm like, cool. And even Admiral Salty, he came in here. He's like talking in the chat, so I thought he was just talking, but he. Anyway, first box. This is my first box. This is Chained Echoes. So this is the first box I did, and as you can tell, it did not survive very well. I used vinyl, and I designed a box to be printed like this, and do it. It just did not. This did not last very well. And that wasn't a very good. I mean, it's a good box design. I just didn't know what the hell I was doing at the time. So yeah, like, yeah. So then I learned how to do things better. I redid this box. So yeah. So this is how this turns out. Looks better. I actually did a Super Nintendo box for this game too. The Super Nintendo box came out really well. So I don't know. It just felt like one of those games that deserved a Super Nintendo box. And I really liked the slipcover on this. It looks so good. And I redid, like, it looks a lot better. System requirements. As you can see here, like before, I just stuck anything on the back and said, "Oh, that's good enough." But then I was like, "No, it's not good enough." So I actually did a proper back, with the logos and rating and whatnot, and the system requirements. Man, you cannot have a box without system requirements. Come on, focus. There we go. So I really like the soundtrack too. Soundtrack came out pretty good. This is when I started learning things better. I had the whole soundtrack inside. This actually came on 2 CDs. I agree. What if machine? So yeah, this turned out really good. Like the soundtrack. And then the next box I did, this actually survived pretty good. So the next box I did was the Deponia box. Same format I did with that. The vinyl sticker, and it actually, this box still hold together really well, and I can tell no system requirements or anything there, but it looks pretty good, and it's still holding together. And this is when I wrapped it on the inside. That's probably what I think why it lasted so long. I actually did the proper wrapping on this. This is when I started printing manuals out for it too. Oh, the only thing is, this is the original manual. I didn't design and make this. I wish I did. The Final Fantasy one I did completely from scratch, but this one I didn't. And the thing is that this manual did not print to the end, so I add this page. If you ever had your manuals and you're wondering why do they have like notes in the back, it's like a couple note pages or whatever, those are filler pages, because you have to be able to divide this by 4, because there's front and back on both sides and you have to fold it in half. So that's where the 4 comes. So you have to make sure your pages are divisible by 4, and then you can make a manual. So if you ever wondered why there was notes in the back, it's filler. And I found that out by doing it myself. And you can tell on this one, yeah, this is like really early Sir Randall stuff. This is game and soundtrack, and also nothing on the back. It's game and soundtrack, and they didn't all fit, so I had to put the soundtracks on different discs too in here. And then there's the Deponia. Man, this is my first art book. It's actually hardback too. It did not last very well. I keep it around because I don't know. I think when the first things you do, I like to keep just so like you can like look back on it and say like shows you how much you learned. Like this did not. It stuck together for a while, but then it just fell apart, and it's just. So yeah. Hey, Professor Franklin. So, yeah. So this turned out pretty well. I learned how to do art books better though. So here is the Deponia art book now. I actually decided to make it full pages. And it's actually, it's in there. It's bounded really well. So I decided to redo the art book. And it's in a proper large format too. So this art book came out really good. So yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to do it. And the cool part is I figured out how to wrap this whole thing around. So yeah, really happy how my art book skills have turned out. Oh yeah, I totally get you on that one, Professor Franklin. Same here. Oh, so the next box I did was Grim Fandango Remastered. This one turned out a little better. It's still it's still holding together. I didn't do the wrap, but I don't know if you can see. There's just tape and glue everywhere. I was like, I'm gonna make it stick, damn it. So I thought tape and glue everywhere would do it. It did. It doesn't look right, but it did work. So, but I mean, it looks all right. I'm definitely going to redo the Grim Fandango box. And this is when I was first learning how to do manuals. It, like a lot of stuff's cut off, if you could see. I just didn't really know how. Like, I didn't know what bleed was. I didn't know how to like trim it. So yeah, it just didn't turn out well. So I'm gonna redo the manual for this too. What I do really like, and I'm not changing, is the slipcover for this. This slipcover looks absolutely amazing. Like I really, really love the slipcover on this one. Like, oh man, you know, every once in a while you do something right when you first go and start. But I get Windows and Mac and the soundtrack and the making of Grim. Like the back too. Hey there, Pika. So yeah, that's Grim Fandango. That was my second box I did. I don't know. It's cut off. Like like this text is all cut off. I mean, I didn't do this manual. This manual is provided. So yeah, it looks good because I didn't design it. I mean, I'm proud of this one though. This one I designed completely 100% my own. Like this turned out so good. This is what got me started in making physical stuff. And it fits in here barely. I mean, it's a little chubby, but yeah. But yeah, I didn't design this. This is just the manual that was provided, and I just printed it. But I didn't know about bleed and anything else, so I learned a lot from this. I don't take credit for others' work, so. All right, so what did we do next? Ah, we did Ribbon. That's right. So I decided to do the Ribbon box. And in this one, you can actually see the whole process. Like this is the continuation of all my work progress. So this is the Ribbon first box. I mean, it looks okay, but it's really thin. Like it feels like tissue paper, and the flaps are awful. But this is my first flip box, and it looks okay. Then I learned how to do big boxes. This is the big box. It looks okay. Uh, so yeah, this one where I learned how to laminate and make it look good. So and actually had a proper box feel to it. But then I got the new printer, and this is what it looks like now. And actually put the system requirements. But yeah, like this looks so much better. This looks like uh, exactly like if you got it printed from the press. So I'm really happy how the new process has turned out because it looks so good. Because it's not fully glossy, it's semi-glossy like real boxes are. So like really love that. So yeah, like Mist is or the ribbon is the progression right here. What I started out with, what I did a little bit later, and final product. And so what did I do next? I think that's when I decided just to go over. Oh, I did Abduction, but I kickstarted this, so it's just I just had it so there. But again, this is like the flimsy stuff I started with, and this box didn't even survive because it's so bad. I mean, it looks okay. Uh, this is the quick start guide. Now this I did on my own because the instruction booklet they gave you was crap. It was just like paragraphs, white text. I was like, no. So what I did for Firmament is I made my own. So what I did is I kind of made it like a picture book, like a mini art book, but with the a mini art book, but with the manual in there. So like this is like the main settings, like, and this is, you know, the control settings. This is VR. But yeah, so I made this look like a little picture book. And I think it looks so much better. It has a slight translucent to it, so you can read it, but still see the background. But yeah, I really like how this manual turned out. Every once in a while, I'll do it, but manuals take forever. Like that Final Fantasy VII manual took me 2 weeks. Oh yeah, and this disc and soundtrack. So white text is scary. So the new progress though is I wanted to show you like some of the things I went through. Like I have some old app to show you like how I did things. So like before I had the bigger printer, I could only print 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14. So what I did is I made a template where I can divide it into like 4 pieces. So like this is the Exile with the gloss on it. This is the back. This hasn't been laminated yet. And this is the sides. That also haven't been laminated. As you can see, like this is where I glue the front and backs together. And here's the top and back. So that's how I had to do a lot of my boxes. I had to divide them into 4 pieces just so I can print them out. But now with the newer one, I print on 13 by 19 printer. So like this is the Day of the Tentacle. And also look at how good that box looks. Ah, oh, man, that it looks good. I haven't done this one yet. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like before I cut it out. But yeah, the box looks so good on this. So but basically this is the front. So I can fold it. And this is the back. And I fold it here and I glue or tape. No, I'm doing double-sided tape now, which works a lot better. And then put the 2 sides together and it works really well. What's really cool though is that for the smaller, these are for the big boxes, but for the smaller boxes, I can print them all in one sheet. So these smaller boxes, I can do like, they're actually, this is how real boxes are made. They're always printed out in one sheet, right? So the smaller boxes I love doing now because they're one piece. I mean, I like the big boxes, but there's some games that you want the smaller boxes, and I really like that because it's one piece. You just cut it out and fold it, and then only you have to glue or tape one side. But yeah, so like this is the stuff it's changed over time. Oh, so after Grim Fandango, I decided to do collector's editions. This is Monkey Island. So I try to make it look like a like a chest. Yeah, that's exactly how boxes are made. So this right here is so I made this the Sir Randall collection. So I made it look like that. I put that on the inside. This is when I started. Like, I think this is where I started learning the most. So I made I designed and made this envelope that holds like all the manuals and stuff. So like these come with these are called dial-up pirate. Like back in the old days, man, for old games, copy protection, they gave you this, and basically it's just so you have to like match the faces with the what's on the screen, and then it'll tell you the letter or you know what you're looking for, and then the number is there. Kind of. But yes, if you can see the number, it's there. But yeah, so this is actually a real working dial-up pirate. There's two of them. So yeah, I was really happy I got those working. And I got some posters here. I have a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. You can watch the video on that one. Oh, forgot you go in here. No, no. I'll post it in on Blue Sky and tag you on it so you'll know. Oh, the chest I'm talking about is huge. This is yeah, this is I did this a long time ago. Like 4 or 5 months ago. Really love how the slipcover came out. So I took the artwork here and I added more blue of the highlights, you know, accentuated a little bit. And then I made the smoke cover that covered the whole back. And all the games are in there. Like I said, I have a full video on this one. But yeah, this is what I did next. I was really happy how this started coming out. I think this is what started to get me happy about like my work. Like I was actually starting to let's just go with the collector's edition. And I completely lost track of what I did after that. This is the Sam and Max collection. I have a video on this too. Like all the stuff extras are in this envelope. The manuals and everything are in this envelope. And I like really did like all the slip covers. I converted the whole animated series onto Blu-ray. I was able to take my copy, upscale it, and I've realized how to make menus for Blu-ray. So these are all these are HD versions of the Sam and Max Freelance Show. And I did a board game on that. I have a whole video on that one. So you should check that out. But yeah, this is the second one I did. Really happy with this one. And all right, yeah, I was just okay. So I did another Metroid 2 remake. It's keep being it's gonna be. So yeah, another soundtrack. Slipcover and the game and disc. I did the manual on this one. Every once in a while, I'll get a hair up my butt, and I'll make the manual. I making manuals is no longer my fun. I think making that Final Fantasy Rebirth one took the fun out of it. Oh, but in the background is in the background though is the map. That is that for that one. So Pika, I actually started at 8 o'clock on the dot, and OBS told me I was streaming. So I did this whole thing for it. I didn't think anyone just showed up, so I did this whole thing for an hour and a half, just thinking I'll just put it out there. Then I come to find out I wasn't streaming at all. All right, so you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna go through this. much as we can. Let's do these out first. So, Stories of Soul, the gun dog. I did this one. Really like the text on this. I don't know if you can. It's like a digital font. Really like how that turned out. This game hasn't come out yet, but I played the demo and I really liked it. So, and I really like how this box turned out. This is like really, really good. And Stardew Stardew Valley. This is on the new printing process, so this is why this one looks like it pops out really well. This is the Sir Randall edition. Original soundtrack. And I think this is when I started doing, yeah, I put all the track numbers inside. I really love how the new boxes are turning out. I did, yeah. It was a game that I just never streamed. Yeah, I played Stardew Valley. Oh, yeah. This is probably one of my favorite boxes I did this year. This is Prim. I just like because it was black and white, and it turned out way better than I thought it would. It looks really good. Like I even found the font, and I did the scroll on this one. So yeah, so like, and I just really liked how this turned out. I did the soundtrack. I really like how I made it spawn in there, but soundtrack list. Just like real CD inserts. Oh, I could, yeah. Loco Motive. This is a different one I did. So this is the vinyl sticker, but printed on the inkjet, the new inkjet I have. And this vinyl does photo paper, so it looks really good. It's just way too shiny. But I think some boxes might actually do this. So I think I'm going to keep this process because it looks good. It's just a little too shiny. But yeah, this is. So, game, soundtrack, and thank you, What If Machine. Like I said, lag. Yeah, this is pretty much just a 6 months in review right here. Black and White. This is a game I played as a kid. It never had the box, so I made it myself. Yeah, this is when I decided to. This is why I decided to use double-sided tape, like really, really extensive black and white. Like my newer boxes don't do this. So the manual. Yeah, you play as a god. Like you can either be an evil god or a good god. So like you could actually take people and throw them in the altar and sacrifice them to get power, or you can try to do good and then the good slowly builds up your power. You can also like toss people across the map. I mean, I would never do that. Never. Or you can have your pet eat them. You can like train a pet. You can be like a monkey or a cow. It's a really good game. It's one of my favorite games. I got it working on newer PCs too, so I should play that. Your interview. My box fails. Cuphead. This is the one I did this year too. So look, that double-sided tape is much better than the old stuff. So Cuphead, I got the original soundtrack. These actually turned out really well. I like how this turned out. And this only came on one CD. Okay, so yeah. And this one actually I like too because really like how that turned out. And the game and the DLC, both for PC and Mac OS. That was Cuphead. Like I'm speed running through these because there's a lot to go cover. So I did In Stars and Time, a really good game. I like this box too, not as much as Prim, but it did turn out okay. Really, what I really like about this though is I was creative with this one. So I learned how to like mask text and wrap it. So what I did is I took half of the first paragraph of the description and then the second half and put it here, and I was able to wrap it around like the moon. So I was really happy how like I was getting more creative with these right here. Like I'm still learning a lot, but yeah, this one I really like because of that, how it splits and wraps around the moon. And the manual for the game, this was actually came with the game. I didn't make it. Soundtrack, 2 discs. Game. CD. I think it's a CD. And for Sea and Stars, in Stars and Time, I got 2 things on this one. This is the book, the art book. Really happy how this turned out. This is the first long like art book I've done. Like this is really long, but it looks really good. And then I actually played this a year later. So the people, like the fans, made a magazine. It's the anniversary magazine. So I was able to print it. And this is not my first magazine, but it turned out really good. A lot of like fan art and stuff. I just figured that since they put so much work into it, I thought it'd be a really good inclusion for the physical edition. Oh, Cuphead, yeah. Speaking of magazines, This is another game I really like. This is from the 90s, but they made a new one. This is Beyond Shadowgate. Turned out pretty good too. This is the laminated process, but I mean, even though they're laminated, they still look good. This game came with 3. I swear, I was like, wait a minute. I know, I can count to 3. 1, 2, 3 comic books. When you buy it on GOG, they give you that. But man, the comic books came out so good. This is off the Laser. Laser does a really good job. I think it does a good job for like manuals and things like that, but for boxes, the inkjet is a better one. So that's why I use both of those, and I'm not going to stop using both. Just because this turned out so damn good. But yeah, the colors look really good. It's shiny just like it needs to be. This game and soundtrack is on one disc. I put the map in the background. But the cool thing about this game is that when you buy it on GOG, they give you a strategy guide that comes with it. So this is actually the first magazine I printed, and like this magazine turned out so good. I mean I didn't design the book, but I was able to print the strategy guide. But like it is solid. Like this is like when I finally learned how to bind really well, and this is a good. So it's like my first magazine I printed. I was really happy how well it turned out. But I really like this. Like the people in Shadowgate made this strategy manual. Like they even have like, some of these like old school like advertisements in there. Like I was really impressed by this magazine. Hey, Totally Socks. Well, welcome back. So, this is another game that I did in 3 versions. This is my first version. This is like, the tissue paper. Oops. That's the tissue paper box. Should be a little more careful. Anyway, and then this is a version that I sent to you, Pika. And it's pretty good. It's okay. But then this is the final version. And this is actually a pretty big box. Like this is actually pretty dang full. The manual. The Persona art book that came with the game. And this is really, really good. This is like when this is like my ultimate printing of books. So yeah, like this is the Persona 4 art book from Japan. So there's just so much in here. Like so much. Oh, the next stream for sure. I'll be streaming tomorrow or a new one. So if you want to do the questions about that, sure. This is just a 2024 year in review. I want to kind of keep it on that track. But yeah, I'll be here tomorrow if you want. Ask any questions you want. Game and soundtrack. Oh, so and people ask me, does this game work? Yes, because Persona or Atlas forgot to put de novo on the first one. So when they first released it on Steam, for like the first 2 weeks, it didn't have de novo, and I was able to get that copy and actually burn it onto disc. So it actually plays off the disc. Totally. Yeah, this is like really full. But it's another game that has the evolution of my process. We did Stardew. Oh, this is Kura 5. This is a fan-made game of the Boktai series. I'm not sure I pronounced that right, but they did a really good job, and I had a really good time with them. So I made that, and I actually sent all the devs. I actually made all the devs a box and sent it to them. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. But this is also another game that the indie developer worked with me on. He sent me some stuff. Like he helped me design the back. He made some new renders just for the back of this and sent it to me, which was really cool. Like I was really happy to work with them. Like I really love working with indie devs because they just go out. So yeah, I was able to do that. They also sent me this, and they sent me the information, but I put this together and formatted it. So yeah, this is another. This is not a manual per se, but it's like a quick tips. I was able to format that, and the soundtrack on this game is just insanely big. There's just 4 discs on this. So I was able to. I actually had to order a special 4-disc case for this. And I order these in bulk, so if I ever come across that again, I will do it. But yeah, really like how that turned out. Ah, let's do some River City Girls 2. So I did River City Girls 1 and 2. I didn't like it. I thought it deserved a big box, so I made big box versions of them. You can tell like how much bigger they are. Okay, it's a better one. But so for this, I I found like I had to layer all these stuff. Like the girls are separate, the people in the background are separate. So I learned how to layer it. And so yeah, I did that, and I found the background image for that, and then I made the back, I redid the cover on that. So like totally, and I found the comic strip they used, and then I did the gradient from like pink to like that light orange, and I put the comic book there. And then the back came out really good. But you know what? I'm kind of thinking that maybe the big box is a little overdone for this. But here's the game and CD. That's it. So yeah, that's River City Girls too. What else do we need? Ah, so here's another one that worked with me. This is the Game of the Year edition of Hobbs Barrow because I really like this game a lot. So this is my personal Game of the Year edition. I'm actually sending him a copy of this too. But he sent me all the artwork in raw format. He actually sent me the source files. So I was able to like place things differently. I had 100% control of that. And this turned out, this is also the new process. Also he even sent me this. This is like the custom, this is the first key art they did, like this when they just thinking about the game. So this has never been released. So he sent it to me. He said you can put it in the back or somewhere. I was like, okay. Then when I saw it, I was like, no, this is too good to put it just in the back and cover it up. So I was like, you know what? I'll just make this a slip cover because I really like that. So yeah, this is just a slip cover for that. Soundtrack. And this is when I learned how to do shiny discs now. So I'm really happy with the discs how they turned out. And this is the art book. And this is the game disc. Also shiny. Really happy how that turned out. So yeah, I'm just like running through these as fast as I can. A lot of these have videos on YouTube that are already there. Yeah, we're almost done. Holy crap. This is a Salt Seats Falcon. They did a United States version, but it was like really cut down. So this is actually the imported version with the English translation. So I made the box on this. And this is the first game I actually burned to some ROMs and made this. So I actually made this Super Nintendo cartridge and it works. So the label is a little too shiny, like a lot shiny, but the game works. It's translated. I even translated the manual from Japanese to English. So yeah. I will definitely work on that. I'll think about that, Socks. So yeah, first game, my first Super Nintendo game I burned. I even made a cover for it, like a case that actually fits in here. This is how I normally store it. I should pull this out. I just wanted to do this for the video. But yeah, this fits in there. And that's how I usually store my Super Nintendo games. And what else are we gonna do? Stars. This was the first box I did. This is actually a box I did, and I covered it in lamination. Not lamination, varnish. It turned out okay. It got the semi-gloss I wanted, but it just didn't turn out right. I liked it, but then the DLC came out, so I made a PC big box of it. And I really liked how this turned out. So this is a slip cover for that. And the art book. This is like semi-hardback. Really, I used really, really thick cardstock on that. Flip cover turned out really good too. And so the game and 3 discs for the soundtrack. But yeah, I really like making this one too. And we're getting near the end, so we're gonna do some E's next. So this is Ease 8, the PC Big Box. So, art book. Art book came out pretty good. Game. And Blu-ray disc. Okay, that would not fit on a DVD. And soundtrack. The Ease 8 came with some extras, but not a lot. 9 came with a lot more. So 9. And I really like how that box turned out. But yeah, that's the front and back of 9. Came with the 2 soundtracks. The mini art book. It was called Nails in a Coffin. The Lost Sword. This is the manual that came, not manual, novel that came with the book game. So I was able to print it out. Game and disc. So that's what Ease 9 is. I'm not going through all of them, but yeah, a lot. So, and Ease X or 10 Nordics. Really like this. This one has a lot more to it though. You got your soundtrack. And the mini art book turned out okay. Game and disc. This one actually fit on DVD for some reason. Go figure. And the art book, which is actually a hardback. It's a true hardback. So this is like my first hardback I did. But it turned out really good. I really like how this art book turned out. But yeah, this has a lot going on for it. All right, so that's Ease. I think we only got a couple more things to go through. We did that collection. We did that. We did Persona. We did another Metroid 2 remake. We did Riven. We did the Mist. We did Hobbs Barrow. All right. I got 2 more boxes to do then. And here is the Persona 3 Reloaded custom box I did. So it has a slipcover for the box. And I actually redid the whole box, the back of the box. There's another one I redid. But yeah, I designed it. I tried to make it look like the PlayStation 5 box. But this box, it's the Sir Randall edition. And this is the first one where I actually did like the inserts for. So you got the art book, the game, and the soundtrack. So the art book slides out. So that fits in there. And the game, which I have out because it just sits on a shelf, but it does hold the game. And the soundtrack. But I really liked making this one too. Like the first time I was actually make like inserts for a game. But yeah, this really like how this one turned out. The Kenless edition. Yeah, there is not a Ken in there. You know what's really hard is getting the slip cover right because you have to make it like a millimeter to get it right. Like if it's too big, it's floppy. If it's too tight, you can't, slide it on and off. Like this slip cover was the death of me, but I finally got it right. Oh, Old Skies. This game hasn't come out yet, but I love the company. Logic iGames. They make some really good games, so I'm really excited for this. So I made a one to get ready for that. And I think we're almost here. Ah, and the Astrobot Game of the Year edition. So I made this box. Uh, so I decided to pull out a little bit on the official art because it was up close. Like I'll show you the disc for it. Here we go. So here's the original disc, right? See how it's like zoomed in, which is fine. It looks good, but I thought the box I wanted to pull out a bit, and I wanted the Game of the Year edition. On the back, it's the same as this, but I recreated everything though. You can tell like some of the fonts don't match up. I did my best to match them light, but yeah. So I found all the art they use, and I was able to recreate the whole back. This was really fun to make. So I really like how this turned out. This is also the new printing process, so that's why it looks so good. But yeah, like recreating the back was so much fun because it was like I wanted to get it. This is the first time I actually copied something one to one, and I was actually really happy that I was able to do that. But yeah, like this whole thing is done by me, copying from that. Whew. All right, I think we went through everything, like all the things I wanted to go through. So if you guys have some questions about my projects, please let me know. Oh, I had one. It was like from Snail P, I think. A salty snail, I think. He asked, "What printers do I use and what paper do I use?" I use two printers. One printer is the newer printer I got, which is the Epson ET8550, and that's what this Astrobot is made of, and then all the other newer boxes. Um, and then I have a Brother laser, which I did like pretty much all the old work on, which actually turns out really amazing. It's actually a really good printer. And for paper, I use two new ones. These are 13 by 9. This is a satin paper. It's a semi-gloss. This is another semi-gloss. They're pretty much the same thing. I was just testing out different types of paper. And I have to still glue or do adhesive on cardstock. So I got 13 by 9 cardstock. And for everything I print on the laser, I use this paper. This is a specialty paper for laser printers that prints like in glossy paper. So that's why it looks so good. Again, I have to glue this onto cardstock. So that's the paper and I use. Actually, pretty much that's it. And I got other paper too, like a lot of cardstock, and I have glossy cardstock I use for some the slip covers. But yeah. Oh, go back up there. Okay, now if you have any questions, I just wanted to answer that one. He was the one that I posted on Blue Sky about it. So I was like, okay, I'll answer his question. But if you don't have any questions, whew, this is the third time I did this. Yay, I'm glad it came out well. Soon, Pika, soon. I'll probably do that on Sunday. Oh, and some of the tools I use, actually, I use this caliper a lot because when I'm designing stuff and I want to like measure things, and I really want to get like precision stuff, so I got this caliper to do that. And there's sometimes I need to do some touch up or like fill in some white spaces I can't with my because definitely the way I print things. So I made this. I bought. Where is it at? There it is. So I bought this alcohol marker set, and so I wanted to know like what colors are which and what they look good on paper. So what I did is for all the paper types I have, I made a color swatch for it. So like this is cardstock paper, so I can tell what it looks like on cardstock. And then this is for glossy paper, so I could tell like how it looks on because markers look different on paper, and this is just normal plain paper. So I got this color swatch so I can see what it looks good if I have to touch up anything. And this is what I use for my like the manuals and stuff to staple in the center. This I know it looks janky and it looks like it's someone just threw it together, but this actually works really well. This actually does all the manuals and stuff, so I can staple it right in the center. It's perfect and it works great. You don't need to spend a lot of money. It wasn't expensive either, but it works. It looks janky, but it works. And then I use this as a cutter. I have this and an X-Acto knife. Oh, you know what? I'm not that good at color matching either. It took me a while to figure out how to color match. Like it really, really took me a while. Oh, nothing to see here. Oh, one last thing before I go. If you guys don't have any questions, I answered the one. I wanted to make sure I got that out of the way. But so I don't know if you know about infidelity. Say put it off of space reference. Hell yeah. But Infidelity is making the NES to SNES ports. So I designed all his boxes. So this is one of the final products of the SNES boxes. Like I use the high quality stuff. So this is like the best that this SNES boxes can get. And all the boxes I made are the official work art boxes of his projects. So I'm really happy about that. Like I was really stoked. I was like, yes. I don't know. It's just like it makes me happy. I mean, I released them for free. I didn't care. I just like people liking my work. Like everybody loved the boxes so far. So I'm really happy. Like that's what makes me happy is getting these done. But yeah, wow. There's a few other boxes I've done, but it's pretty much just a general overview. So, oh yeah, the back looks good too. Well, I'll just post this later. That's why I did it on YouTube. The reason why I did this on YouTube is because I can upload at a higher quality, and yeah, so I can upload at a higher quality, and then it's a better VOD experience. So I'm not a really good script person. I'm more of a live person myself. Like I don't know. Like when you read from a script, it just doesn't sound sincere. Like everything here is just me talking from the heart, and like the passion that I am with it. And that's what I like. I don't know. Some people are good with scripts. I'm not. I'm a what is it? F it, go live. That's the type of person I am. But I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything that's important. I did show you the Sea of Stars, right? Yeah. Hobbs Barrow. Man, it just kind of sucks that I just summed up my whole, like, 6 months in like an hour. An hour and a half. I mean, it took a long time to do all this. And I summed it up like an hour and a half. Wow. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for showing up. Um, oh, yeah, another question I get is my cutting board dirty? No, I wash it all the time. It's just cut up to hell now. It's a very well used cutting mat. Like the other side is like perfect, and I'll be using this side when the other side is just completely unusable. But no, it's not dirty. It's cut to hell. All right. Thank you guys for showing up. And for the people watching later, thank you. And if you're here, Socks, I will be streaming tomorrow and then ask any questions you want. So with that, I am off. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you. And if you guys have any questions watching this later, put put something in the comments. I'll look at it. See you guys.